Kids and marriage, day 4. Okay, this is day 4, guys. I really, really love this series. I love, breaking down things that we need to be doing with our kids and making them, into a better adult, and not tarnishing or giving them trauma in the beginning. Okay, this is Nancy Mitchell with Love Guru, your guide to better relationships. Guys, let's dive right into this content. Okay, kids and marriage. Your marriage with your boo, you're going through all of this. You have just started, going through your marriage. You have kids and now you're crazy. You don't even know what to do. Okay, so number 1 is going to be stop asking what's wrong with you. Okay, say this instead. Okay, shame language versus curious language. Okay, you don't want to ever let them think that there's something wrong with them. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? What's going on? You make them feel like, oh my God, there's always something wrong with me, or what's wrong with me? They start thinking too deep into what you're saying, and as a parent to you and I, it doesn't mean anything. It's like, oh, it's okay, you can ask that, but to a child, again, their brain is not developed as yours. So their intake of knowledge is going to be so much different than if you're talking to your friends. Okay? So be very, very careful of what you say, what you do, people that you bring around your kids, because they suck up everything like a sponge. So you do not want to bring a bad influence, a bad girl, a bad guy into your home to live or to stay or to visit on a regular basis, and your kid is sucking up everything bad from that person. You have to be super, super careful, okay? You want to make sure that the language that you're using to them is going to be always going to be positive, always going to be something that you're telling them, okay, you are great, you are going to be a great person, you are intelligent, you're beautiful, you're happy, you love yourself, and teach them ways how to do affirmation as well. There's something that could definitely work for any kid. You need to start teaching them, you get up in the morning, you say a prayer, you pray over your food. I'm not a Christian, but if I'm sitting there with my son at the table, we always pray. And if I'm there and I feed him something, like I cook for him and I gave him, I said, did you pray? You said a prayer? Go into bed. I said, you say a prayer. Sometime if I'm going through something hard or something difficult, I would pray. Sometime I turn to my son and say, hey, son, there's something going on right now. And this is what I always explain. I'm so open with my son, maybe too open, but I am so open with my son. My son knows pretty much every single thing about me, whether he doesn't care about any guy, anything he knows about me. I don't hide anything. And I will tell my son, this is going on. I need for you to pray for mommy, pray for mom and tell God to, see if this can be sorted out and help. So that is something that you can have them starting some good affirmations on praying and telling themselves in the mornings, in the night, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. It grows confidence in you. Okay, very important. Number 2, the science behind why kids lie. Why you shouldn't panic. Okay, lying in the development of milestone, kids lie to avoid punishment. Okay, it's not really evil intent, but let me tell you, man, my son lied to me so much. It's just like crazy. He lies to me so much. I think he's at a point right now that we have a good relationship where he doesn't feel the need to lie. He will still tell a few lies here and there if there is something that needed to be done. And I'm like, Daniel, did that get done? And he's like, oh, well, yes, it was done, and it wasn't done. So he would still tell little small lies like that. But when things get really serious and deep, and I say, hey, what happened? What was this? What was that? I can rest assured that he's going to tell me the truth. And, that is something that I think, because I am very open with him, I tell him pretty much everything about my life. And if there's something that I don't want to discuss, which is too, traumatizing, or something that I don't want to discuss with him, I would say, well, honey, I don't think that's a discussion that we should be having, that we can wait till a later date to have that discussion, or, we'll have it at another time. Try not to tell them never, you're not going to never do this or do that. Just let them know that, okay, there's another time and place for this, and you will get it done at that time. Okay, very important. Number 3, how kids learn to regulate emotions from watching you, as you, they said they always mirror their parents. If you look at kids, either the dad or the mom, if you have both dad and mom in the household, they would always mimic either one or both. So you will see a kid and you will see their dad or something, and you will see the kid walking just like the dad, or just, being like the dad. Or if the dad drink, you see him have a cup and drink it, or, even if they smoke, which is kind of bad, you'll see them smoking. So they always try to mimic the parents. And that is something that I always say this from the beginning of the series, that kids sucks up everything. They're like a blinking kitchen sponge. Okay, you have that sponge, and I tell you, that sponge suck up everything. They suck everything up. Doesn't matter what you, from the pin to an anchor, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're saying, no matter how your attitude is, they pick up every single thing. And if there's a problem with you and dad, they are going to know. So be very careful of what you betray in front of your kids. Make sure that you are not arguing in front of them. That will definitely traumatize them and worry them about that you splitting, something's gone wrong. You don't want abuse in front of the kids. You don't want, for anything happening where sexuality, you have to make sure if you're having sex in the room, you make sure that the door is closed. Well, the door is closed, and sometimes those walls are so thin. So be very careful. If that is a situation, dad and mom, you got to do it somewhere else. Or, I don't know what to tell you to do. Gag, whatever. You got to do something so the kids are not going through that sexual passion and sexual, encounters of what you're having in the room. And they're right there, that's not good. So make sure that you be very careful of what you're doing when it comes onto your sexual activity. And some of the parents can really get down nasty and dirty. So you do not want the kids to be at 5-year-olds and they're hearing, somebody choking out or some crap. You know what I'm saying? So be very careful of what you do in front of your kids, and behind closed door as well, if you know that the walls are very thin. Okay, there you have it. Again, that's going to be day 5, and I think it's day 4. So I am just saying, let me just go ahead and recap for you quickly. Again, stop asking what's wrong with you. Instead you have to change it up a little bit. Number 2 is going to be the science behind why kids lie. They kind of lie because they don't want to get reprimanded. They don't want to be punished. Number 3 is going to be how kids learn to regulate emotions from watching you. How do they do what they do when they start mimicking you? Because they are learning every single thing from you. They're sucking up all the knowledge and everything that you're feeding out into them. So if you're feeding good, they're getting good. If you're feeding bad, they're getting bad. So parents, I beg of you, mom, dad, be careful. If you have a single parent and you have your boo coming there or your girlfriend coming there, you gotta be super careful of who you're taking around your kids. Try to make sure you have that relationship for a few months. You don't have a relationship the first week and take them around your kids and you say, oh, this is Harry. And then in the next 2 weeks, oh, this is Tom. Next 2 weeks, oh, this is Michael. What the hell? You know what I mean? So you got to be careful of what you're doing, making sure that the relationship is a serious relationship before you make that step and say, hey, you can come and meet my kids. Okay? So be very careful with that. With me, I can tell you, I'm a single mom with my son, and my son is older now. However, no guy passed at my house. Okay? No guy's going to pass my house right now to come inside and screw me. You got to be goddamn crazy. That's not going to happen. Okay? You meet me on the outside. If this is a serious relationship, then okay, no problem. Then you can meet. If I'm thinking about, okay, you're going to get married to me, it's that serious. If it's not that serious, there's no reason for you to be meeting my child. You don't need to. Okay? So there you have it, guys. That's all I have. If you know anybody this content can help, I beg of you to share it with them. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button, As I always say, every time a video drop, you are notified. There you have it. I am Nancy Mitchell with Love Guru, your guide to better relationships. Peace. I am out.